Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Things Reviewed. Today we're looking at the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni scandal. Let's take it from multiple angles. So we're looking at Ryan Reynolds' hostile takeover strategy. Um, Justin Baldoni guilty of being the nice guy. Is Ryan Reynolds jealous, or they're going for a divorce as well? So we'll take a look at that. So let's first look at also need to find that divorce clip. I had it. Let's get that divorce clip. Yeah, we might take a look at Ryan Reynolds' demands as well.
Hello,
So
everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andrew, and I'm with Pure Resonance Audio. And today we're going to be talking about how to properly.
so this guy's been following it a bit as well. So we'll take a look at that and then also take a look at the divorce. I don't know if this is a legit source, but we'll take a look at this. A few people are saying he did, but this is probably media talk. Well, yeah, let's take a look at. I'm more interested in like the business strategy to hijack movies, so I think that's more interesting. So let's take a look there.
Not a single person is talking about how it was Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' plan from the beginning to hijack the movie It Ends With Us. It has nothing to do with Justin. They planned it before the project even began, and we will prove it in this video by breaking down the step-by-step genius strategy that Blake and Ryan used to hijack the movie, and how this isn't their first time doing so. How Blake strategically positioned herself to take control of the production, despite starting as just a hired actress, after Justin optioned the rights to the Colleen Hoover novel. Her tactics mirror what Ryan did with Deadpool, where he took control of the production, negotiated a massive back-end deal, and turned the sequel into a $785 million hit. Ryan, through the sequel, secured a much higher base salary of $20 million and an additional $40 million in profit sharing. As we dig deeper, you'll discover how Ryan mastered the art of taking over production.
So fair use. I think this is a legit strategy. I can see him doing this. He's really a businessman from T-Mobile to the football team he has in England. I think he has a marketing company that markets Deadpool and like the Blade Live movies as well. So he's really grown into a businessman over the years. I think he's trying to get to that $1 billion mark.
Productions, and how Blake is using those same tactics to reshape her career with a very clear motive. Step 1. Start small and be underpaid. Blake's first strategy in taking over It Ends With Us was coming into the production humbly as an actress. As we dive deeper, you will understand why this is important and how it was never the final plan but the first step into taking over the film. Blake joined the production as the lead, Lily Bloom, when much of the groundwork had been done and the contract had been signed with investors and distributors of the film. However, upon joining the production, Blake agreed to a lower salary of $3 million as part of her plan, but made sure to negotiate an executive producer credit. This credit is honorary and symbolic for high-profile actors and can acknowledge her involvement in the film, which is an important detail. As the main cast and the most prominent celebrity on the set of It Ends With Us, $3 million was an underpaid.
And these ads, eh?
Big ideas,
salary for Blake's earning status, even though it was enormous compared to Justin Baldoni's own acting fee of $320,000. However, the payments weren't as huge in comparison to other productions because they were on a strict $25 million budget, which was self-funded by Justin Baldoni through his studio Wayfarer. All this money was meant for production costs. Sony Studios joined Wayfarer as a co-distributor. This pattern mirrors how Ryan Reynolds started with Deadpool. For the first Deadpool movie, where Ryan admitted he let go of getting paid and accepted a very low salary of $2 million, was a calculated move, a way to first get his foot in the door. By being willing to take such a pay cut for a superhero movie, Ryan gained the trust of those in charge of the production by demonstrating his commitment to creative authenticity over financial gain. Surprisingly, the first Deadpool had a modest budget of $58 million, which was low for a superhero production. As a comparison to the budget for the first Ant-Man movie, which was $130 million, which also was a low-budget creative risk Marvel took to introduce a new character to the Marvel Universe. The budget was low as well because new projects must be careful with how finances are managed during production, since the project is more risky and
I think the new movie model, I don't know if you've seen Transformers 1, where it was a $75 million budget, but three companies came in 25 a piece to fit the movie. So I think to fit the budget, and they end up making 150. So they didn't really break even, but still, um, the risks, it was de-risked, right? So I think that's the new model with movies, more like a venture model type of approach where studios won't have the full cost of the budget and then split it across different movies.
can become a hit or miss. This low budget allowed Ryan and the team the chance to easily influence the project's creative vision without excessive studio involvement. This could explain why Blake chose to join a smaller project with a $25 million budget, like It Ends With Us, knowing it would be easier to shape and control. Step 2, wait until 50% of the budget is spent, which takes us to Blake's second move, which put Justin's production company in checkmate with no turning back. This is where the hijacking really started, to wait until half of the production budget has been spent. On top of this, Blake waited until the production exhausted the entire budget for her character's wardrobe, and all the outfits had already been decided on and carefully picked by the designer. Time, effort, and money was already spent. Yet, she ignored their vision and demanded to change the wardrobe to fit her preferences. With this, the budget became overstretched as they had to shop and collect new outfits based on her demands. The strategy to destabilize the management of funds on the project continued with Blake by ensuring they also delivered her entire wardrobe to her and Ryan's home for fitting, which was an additional cost for logistics and the crew. This caused a lot of tension with the crew and Justin, who's the director and producer. Blake's demands clashed with the creative vision Justin had been developing for 5 years, completely undermining Justin's first major self-funded production. So why didn't he kick her out and hire another actress, but chose to obey and please Blake's demands? Because if she leaves, the whole project would collapse and it would be over for Justin. Remember, he is self-funded, he is balls deep in this project and has invested.
Nah, I think she's wrong there. Justin's not self-funded. He's funded through this billionaire. Let me get those details for you. Forgot. So he's funded through this billionaire that so he owns he's a co-founder of Wayfair Studios with Steven Schwartzit, which is the founder Playlicity. So this guy's a billionaire and he's trying to do something ethical like um push forward movies that have an agenda of like social commentary and so on. So this was his view on like domestic violence and so on. So if we look into this guy a bit more, he's on the Forbes list. So on let's get him on the Forbes list. So Justin's not self-funded here. So this guy, he's worth 2.6 billion. So this is a payroll company. So he's focused on philanthropy and contributing 250 million to his family foundation and spiritual inspired foundation Wayfair. So Wayfair Studios, right? Co-founded Wayfair Studio, which produces inspirational films with inspirational messages. So Justin's not self-funded. If you look at some of the movies Wayfair has done, uh, let's look at some of the movies. I think they had some big productions. They had some. So they did Garfield, they did Will and Harper. So this ends with us. A Nice Indian Boy, Batman, 5 Feet Apart, Man Enough. Okay, so this is his podcast. So they're pretty much like buddies, right? Seniors and so on. All right, so let's get back to this video. Mm, okay, so we're here.
All his money and time. According to IMDb, his net worth is estimated to be $4 million, which is almost the same amount that he's paying out for Blake to play as an actress alone. Half of the production money is spent. There is no backing out now. Blake holds power over Justin now, and she's one step closer to getting what she wants. Step 3, take over the script and leverage dragons. As soon as she conquered the wardrobe department, despite her unflattering clothing choice, it was time to unleash one of her dragons, Ryan, to help her conquer even more of this movie. And it was the script, Ryan's specialty. In a text message to Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively referred to herself as Khaleesi and called Ryan and godmother of her children and billionaire friend Taylor Swift her dragons. This is a
I want to tell you a story.
I used to believe that Jesus was
I think
a
I need
reference to the character
LinkedIn free
Daenerys from
ads.
the television series Game of Thrones. This metaphor implies that Reynolds and Swift play influential roles in backing her decisions and actions, as we will now show you they absolutely did. Starting with Ryan, who previously has been praised for his brilliance in scriptwriting and witty dialogue for Deadpool 1, so much so that Reynolds secured an official producer credit for Deadpool 2, which is a super important detail to remember for later. He helped Blake to rewrite dialogues and scripts from the comfort of their home without consulting with the director Justin or the screenwriter, and the reason he's helping her is all part of the plan for her to achieve her ultimate goal, and that doesn't have anything to do with Justin, which will all soon make sense. Ryan changed the conversation between Ryle and Lily on the rooftop, which the screenwriter had no idea about and felt was improvised. But the real clever tactic Ryan and Blake used to try and force Justin to comply with their new dialogue was extremely manipulative, as you're about to discover. Blake invited Justin to her home to discuss some ideas and script rewrites she had.
Oh, so we know this information already. Uh, let's skip through to here.
With pressure from Sony Studios as his co-distributor, which agreed to use their global reach, finances, and marketing power to ensure the film's commercial success. They already
Some movies are like the um music industry now. It's like having distribution rights on. They usually do like co-funding for the production of the movie as well, and then get these bigger studios to distribute it.
saw Blake's participation as a critical asset for marketing. Meanwhile, Justin had exceeded the budget due to Blake's demands and changes, bleeding his personal finances into the project. Replacing Blake, or worse, losing her entirely, was simply not an option. Step 5. Infiltrate the editing and extend the access. Once filming finally wrapped, Justin thought he was finally free of Blake, but he couldn't have been more Wrong. This time, he had both Blake and Ryan to contend with. Justin was about to enter his director's protected editing period, a critical phase in the filmmaking process. This period is a big deal because it's the time when only the director and approved editors are allowed to work on shaping the film. The purpose of this period is to
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
ensure that the director's vision, in this case Justin Baldoni's vision, is preserved and honored. But Blake pulled up with another surprise as her tactical strategy moved into the editing bay in a plan for a real hostile takeover. And with Ryan's impressive track record of being hands-on with the editing in movies like Deadpool and Free Guy, this was a simple quest. Blake requested access to the film's editing bay during the well-known director's protected editing period. Again, Blake was given leverage and allowed into the privacy of the editing bay for 2 full days. And this is where she and Ryan really got to work. She intentionally managed to extend her access to 10 days, which gave her and Ryan enough time to edit their own final cut of the movie, something that never would have been possible if she hadn't gotten the 10 days. They could, of course, not do this alone, and conveniently started replacing the original editors with her new hires, including one who worked with Ryan on the set of Deadpool. But Blake wasn't the only one making power moves. Taylor Swift was also involved. The film's original composer was fired. Why? Because Taylor Swift had worked with him before and allegedly had personal issues with him. Taylor pressured the production to fire him and replace him with someone connected to Ryan's Deadpool team. Blake's cut was then forced to compete with the director's cut. The studios tested the 2 versions with audiences, and Justin's cut tested higher, but knowing Blake, she won't back down until she has gotten what she ultimately wants from this little movie. Step 6, threatening to not promote, and it is now that Blake drops her dangerous ultimatum on Justin. She threatened to leave the project, take the book's author with her, and to make 0 marketing appearances if her cut wasn't picked. This would ruin Justin's career and everything he worked for. Why are you doing this, Blake? As the movie's main lead, it was essential to see Blake as Lily in press conferences and media PR to push and ensure the film's success. If Blake, the main lead, had been absent, It Ends With Us would have been a big disaster. And Blake and Ryan were well aware of this. They are aware of their promotional and social power, and they continue to use this as leverage as they put the production hostage with their requests. Step 7, steal producer credit. Aside from planning to take over the film project completely, Blake had one final thing to take over. But first, she had to put Justin in the basement at his own premiere and for his biggest life project.
It have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life, career-wise.
It was so embarrassing from I saw this was over for these guys. I was so over Ryan and Blake after I saw this. Man, that's so embarrassing for his family.
I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour. I wasn't allowed to be seen.
Now, here comes the bomb. Listen closely now, as you can't miss this part. This is the explanation for why Blake and Ryan have acted the way they did. This was their plan from the start. It is so painfully obvious now that we lay it out for you. Blake went after a formal producer credit and the Producers Guild of America PGA, which is insane since Justin is the producer and she was hired as an actress. The criteria for earning a PGA mark expose Blake and Ryan's strategy step by step. To qualify for a PGA mark, a producer must meet some substantial responsibilities, starting with the story's development. Blake changed some parts of the script to take advantage of this. The producer must also hire key personnel. She hired key personnel like editors and fired the ones Justin was working with. It is also expected to supervise the post-production like editing. We already know how Blake and Ryan took over the editing. The organization expects that the producer has been involved in the music of the film, and she actually used her connection with Taylor Swift to add one of her songs in the movie,
My name is Natalie Ledwell, and I'm the #1 most subscribed law of attraction expert on YouTube.
Sorry about the ants,
Tears
guys.
Ricochet in one of the most pivotal scenes in the movie. Taylor Swift even helped her cast one of her friends that played young Lily in the movie. Finally, producers are expected to contribute to marketing. She and Ryan tried to cross-promote Deadpool 2, and it ends with us in hopes to get a powerful Barbenheimer effect. But here, she also miserably failed since she tried to promote her hairline and her beverage company Buzz at the same time, which got a massive backlash since this movie is about a sensitive topic where DV awareness should be in focus. So why was she so relentless in trying to get this PGA mark that she had to put Justin and his family in a basement? The answer is simple. This could transform her career from being an underestimated actress into a respected producer, just like her husband, where she also would be able to negotiate higher salaries for all her future projects, back-end deals to make millions and earn a percentage of a film's profits. And it ends with us would be
I guess they were trying to be a billionaire couple, but I think the essay assault, I mean, that kind of threw it off. I think that was I knew it was more of a business strategy than actual like essay and all this politics around it. I mean, once you follow the money, you can kind of figure these things out. But I think the tactic was poor. I saw what they're doing because Ryan did that with Deadpool and became this big actor. But I think they just got greedy in the end.
be the perfect first project, because just how Blake got underpaid for the first movie, like Ryan did for Deadpool 1, to get a foot in and with her status and leverage be able to take control of the production, just like Ryan was able to climb to become the official producer for Deadpool 2 and make millions. But Blake and Ryan's plan all along was to secure the rights to all of Colleen Hoover's books and build an entire production empire and control Colleen Hoover's entire book-to-film franchise.
Is there any chance that we could have a sequence?
Yeah, see, these guys, Blake and Ryan only play nice to get what they want. Just the way of the world.
What? Chance that you can have a what?
A sequence, like it starts with us.
I mean, if Colleen has her rights, I'll go anywhere. I'll follow this woman anywhere.
Y'all heard her.
Which explains why Colleen Hoover supported Blake so much despite all the controversy. Colleen even launched a new production company called Heartbones Entertainment, which could suggest she was working with Blake and Ryan on future deals. This could have been Blake's time to shine. With Ryan's expertise and her status, she could have fast-tracked her way into becoming a respected and high-earning businesswoman and producer. But Blake seems to have forgotten what happened to Khaleesi in the end of Game of Thrones. Jon Snow ended her and wore a man bun very similar to Justin's.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was good. That was good. Follow her channel, Blue Pin. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, guys. I'll do the rest later on. This one took too much time actually. Yeah, but subscribe and we'll do the rest later on.